let's go back to the question, how do you know? How do you know if a man really likes you or just wants to sleep with you? And this is a really hard question, and I'll tell you why. I mean, a lot of times it's not one or the other. It can be a little bit of both. Of course, for men, men are very, very sexually driven because of their testosterone levels. And I did not realize how powerful their sex drive was or is until I had this experience from 2019 to 2021 where my energy field was penetrated and I actually could feel this man's sex drive. And it was shocking to me how powerful it is. And because of that, I wanted to say before I continue with this that I really do have the utmost sympathy for men, because we don't teach people how to harness their sexual energy. We just expect them to deal with it in some way. And we have organized religion on one side, and we have the porn industry on the other, and really nothing in the middle. And in my opinion, that makes no sense. So in the very beginning, when you meet someone, it can be quite challenging to figure out what they want, because everybody presents their best self in the beginning. So if a man is doing all the things that he's supposed to do, you might think, all right, well, this person really likes me. I've been out on 3 dates with him and he's been totally polite, really nice. He's paid for everything. Isn't there a 3-date rule where you're supposed to sleep with someone on the 3rd date or something like that? Or you shouldn't make him wait too long, or, something like that. I mean, okay. And then, once again, this is a hypothetical example. You might meet someone on a dating app and you check out their background and it seems fine, and then you go on 3 dates with them, and then you're like, okay, well, I think this person's pretty hot and he really seems to be into me, and you're intimate with him, and maybe things are good for a little while, and then he disappears and you're like, wait, like, what happened there? Like, how did this happen? I really thought that he liked me, and now he's nowhere to be found. Like, is it something I did? Could this have been avoided? Okay, so in that scenario, there's several things that could be going on. One, I think with the dating apps today, it's almost like building a house of cards and not growing roots, okay? If you think about a tree has roots deep into the ground. So when the wind blows, the tree doesn't just blow over, right? Because of the roots. But with dating apps, you've seen a person 3 times, you've built this like nice house of cards, but once again, men don't, generally speaking, and this is the thing I want to offer this caveat here, I'm discussing general pathways, and that does not mean that every single man fits into this pathway. This is just something that you're going to need to look out for and need to screen for. Because a lot of times what happens is, with the presenting characteristics, a man who does not fit into this pathway and the man who does will look exactly equal in the beginning. So if this has happened to you, where you've slept with a man and he disappears shortly thereafter, one, you have my utmost sympathies. You really do, because women really bond through intimacy, but men don't necessarily. And for men, intimacy is first and foremost a physical release. It's almost like they have to get it out of them. And for women, they can have that release under the right circumstances. Once again, this is a general pathway. Not all women fit into this. But for women, intimacy is a physical and emotional, and dare I say, spiritual expenditure, okay? So for men, it's a physical release, and for women, it's a physical, emotional, and spiritual expenditure. So please keep in mind the differences between those 2 scenarios. Okay, so in that situation, what I'm going to say is sometimes you can't tell. And for a woman, at least not right away, and for a woman, time is on your side. And once again, we're walking the tightrope here because I've watched thousands of videos of women saying, well, I'm not going to sleep with anyone until I'm married. And that's fine. That's totally, that woman's decision. But on the flip side, I don't necessarily blame a man for walking away, because for a man, intimacy in a relationship is important. Okay, so if you're able to find a middle road, I would recommend the middle road, and this is what I would do. Especially if you're sensitive to people's energy, and I am one of those people that's very sensitive to other people's energy. I am not just going, and once again, like I'm older now. I'm taking myself back to, let's say, like when I was 25. I wish I would have known this, when I was 15. It would have been a heck of a lot easier. If you're sensitive to people's energy, I would recommend that you wait it out so that you can see a person's true characteristics. Okay, now what do I mean by that, and how can you figure this out if you're not able to read energy signatures? The first thing that I would do, and this can be hard to do because you want to believe people, you want to believe that they're telling the truth, but generally speaking, words and text are very easy to do. A lot of people actually believe the lies that they are telling at the time, and they seem very convincing. Also, how hard is it to text, right? You can be in the car texting, you could text right before you go to bed. As hard as it is, I would try to put that stuff out of your head, and I would ask these basic questions. Is this man making an effort to get to know me? Are we talking on the phone? Are we seeing each other face to face? Once again, we need to make provisions for everyday life. It's busy, right? I know a lot of videos say the man has to come to you. And there is some truth in that, in the sense that men really do need to work for it a little bit, okay? But at the same time, I'm not a big believer of, okay, well, let's have a $200 dinner on a first date. That makes absolutely no sense to me. I think you can sense a consistency and an effort when someone really wants to see you and when someone genuinely likes you. And here's another thing, this is going to be hard to quantify, but there's a certain way, men just know, and there's a certain way a guy looks at you when he genuinely likes you. And if he genuinely likes you, he's not going to push the intimacy. He's not going to push it real soon. I'm not necessarily a big believer in making people jump through hoops. Like, I don't think that's the way to go. Perhaps that's just because I want to know someone in their natural state. So if I make a person jump through hoops and they, once again, I'm going back to like my 25-year-old self, and they achieve me and have jumped through hoops, the chances of them sticking around after they've achieved their conquest, maybe it's like a 50-50 shot. Because you have to understand that good-looking women are almost a trophy, but men will get tired of that after a period of time. And so what I would recommend, if you really like a guy, just grow some roots, okay? And take your time and get to know him. And here's the other thing. Men like when you're straightforward. It's not like you have to be overly easy, but you can be straightforward. So I don't really believe in the interview method when you're dating, but I understand that a lot of people use it today because they're meeting people on dating apps and they don't want to waste their time. And I totally understand it and respect that. And that does work sometimes to weed people out. I remember a time, when I was at Penn State, dating was actually fun, believe it or not. Like, people had fun. I'm still a romantic at heart, and I think that people should go out on dates and have fun. Call me crazy, especially in the beginning as you're getting to know somebody.